Yes! Hello everybody, O'Neil Gerald here, and it's time for another vocal talk through. Today we're covering an artist that I actually have covered in the past, except the recording that I did from way back when is old and this needs to be updated, and I felt that this performance was always just absolutely amazing. We are talking about the amazing, the incomparable, the irreplaceable Ledisi. Now, Ledisi is one of my favorite vocalists. I don't even know. I think she's top 5 for me. Like Ledisi is like an entire standard when it comes to great technique and when it comes to just overall pizzazz. And I wanted to kind of revisit this performance and look at it again, see what I'm seeing differently, maybe make some notes. You guys are gonna come along with me for this journey, and the people that are especially coming along with me for this journey are my patrons, because my patrons are the people that are supporting me every month, and they have special access to the live unedited version of this, so they're watching it right now. Hi patrons. But before we get to the music, I need you to remember that this is not a reaction, this is a talk through. This is not a reaction, this is a talk through. It's a vocal talk through. This is not a reaction, this is a talk through. It's a vocal talk through. Yeah, let's cut to the chase and get to the music. Ledisi, let's do it. Come on, Ledisi. Hey. Yeah.
People keep asking about this glow. I seem to have this. I'm just not the same.
Okay, here's the thing. Now I love Ledisi because she is she's a timbre manipulator. Like there's people like timbre manipulation is basically when you change the tone of your voice for different parts of the music that you're singing. For me, soul singers like Ledisi tend to move closer to gospel singing practices, and for me, gospel is a lot about, you know, preaching, using your tone to bring out different parts of your voice for the sake of emphasis. And you can already hear that she started out a little bit nasally, even peep peep, and then also the vowel placement was vertical. Was more horizontal. Peep beep people, but the placement was still forward, so it still spoke. People keep asking about this glow, and then when she went to glow, she changed the vowel to something more vertical. Glow. People keep asking about this glow I seem to have, and there was a little bit of a crack on there. I remember talking about that whenever I talked about this video first. Even the way that she hit have, there was a little bit of a glottal attack on it to give it a little bit more oomph. Right? People keep asking about this glow I seem to have, and she puts a little bit of a crack on it. I love the nuances. It's all about the nuances, and that for me, I'm just like, yo, she's here.
They say I'm walking different, talking different. It's like all of me.
Right, and the really the magic that's in this even particular song is in the in the syncopation. It's funny because I talk about syncopation all the time. I feel like it's the only thing I talk about at times, because when you are creating percussive moments in the vocal, it allows there to be an inner groove or an inner rhythmic heartbeat, sometimes I call it, that is independent, slightly independent of the beat, but still works together with the beat. So people keep asking about this glow I seem to have. 1 and 2 ba. Like, it's just these hits that are allowing the vocals to jump out, and Ledisi is selling each and every one of them. They say I'm walking different, talking different. You can even hear in her consonants, she's creating a slight emphasis on each of those syncopated parts, and I just love it. Come on, Ledisi.
The magic that's in my eyes.
Yeah.
I can no longer hide.
Oh my gosh. She's not even I know, she's in like her mid range, but you can already hear how balanced her tone is. Just the brightness, the vibrato, but also just the softness of the vowel. I can no longer hide. Because she's so extreme in the way that she plays with her vowels, you're getting like so many different colors to her voice, but here you're getting her dead in the center, a very balanced tone. I can no longer hide.
I can no longer hide. When they
Wait, and then on the end, hide, right? Oh my gosh, little nuances. Yeah, now. Okay, like, and there was a little bit of a longer section, but you can hear how Ledisi loves to play with going from chest voice to head voice. Now, this is something that the greats do, it's something Whitney does, it's something Mariah Carey does. But the thing about Ledisi with her moving from chest voice to head voice is that there is a very big difference between the bright belty tones that she uses to sell her belts, that tone that she uses to sell her belts, and the tone that she uses to sell her head voice. Now, Ledisi's classically trained, so her head voice sounds very a lot darker, a lot more vertical and open in vowel. Like, it's very it almost feels like hollow, and it's just like there's so much space that's in the tone, versus the when they look at me, what they really see. Like, you can hear the concentration in the nasal cavity, and just the overall brightness and greatness of the different types of timbres, the different shapes and tones and colors that she's bringing out in her voice, and I love it. And then even this F5 love it. You can even hear how comfortable she is in those in that fifth register, those F5s that are up there. She is absolutely selling. It's always wonderful to hear a vocalist that is comfortable in their belt, and someone who's not pulling and trying to be all just like try hardish with it. And if you actually want help in creating a belt that is effortless, I would recommend that you actually take me on as a vocal coach. For those of you that don't know, I'm actually taking on new students for my private lessons, and I'm actually doing it under Delisa Archer and American Singing Studios. So what I would love for you to do is go to delisa.com/O'Neal-Gerald. Oh my gosh, I'm dying. Anyway, I want you to go to delisa.com/O'Neal-Gerald, and you're going to be able to get my schedule, and you're going to be able to schedule a voice consultation if you're not quite sure where to go with your voice, and if you don't know what to ask of me, or if you want me to tell you a little bit about your voice, you can book a consultation there. But then you can also book a voice lesson, and you can even book like 4 lessons at a time in a month. You can book 12 lessons at a time over 3 months. It's a great deal that's happening over there. So I encourage you to get some voice lessons so that you can have a wonderful, comfortable belt like Ledisi, because Ledisi is showing us what it is when you are not fighting your own sound, but you are allowing your voice to ring in the way that is comfortable for her. Let's check out the second verse.
I smell the roses doing poses.
Right, and you can really hear the consonants there. The roses, and even on the rose, you can tell that she even changed the tone. She darkened up that tone again for the sake of emphasis and for the sake of emphasizing the syncopation. You got me roses doing poses. She's signaling what she wants you to be listening to as the listener. Like, she's with her voice, she's giving these emphasizers, but it's the way that she's doing it, and also the access that she has to different colors in her voice to create that emphasis. I love what she's doing. What? Add the magic. Yes, absolutely. And because she has that forward placement, she can, and also because this is a comfortable place in her timbre, the forward placement allows her to change the openness, closeness of the vowel, to change the consonant, but still keep a placement. But she's using her embouchure, her mouth, to actually close and open, but she's still keeping the placement the same, because you can continue to hear the buzz that is living in that sound. Let's listen to that again.
Magic in my
Yes! Yes, that line. And the magic in my eye. What did she do? Yeah, and the magic in, like, and she keeps the tone straight. And the magic in my, and then she totally opens up the tone, and it's bright. Oh, and that tone and that melody and that improvised, that line was so smart. That line was just, it was just smart. And the magic in my eye. What did she even do after that? Yes, come on. Yes. Yes, and now you can start to really hear her go up into the stratosphere where she loves to live. Yes, and then something that's also characteristic of her tone is how she continues to dig into that dark vertical tone. Oh, I can't even sing it. Oh, and then she expands to get a little bit more of that dark sound. I love it. What I also want you to note is that even though the sound is darker than the rest of her voice and the rest of her bells, she's still there is still a level of brightness and mixture that is in the tone, and you can hear that the tone is connected to the rest of her voice. It's not just ooh and just eliminating all of the brightness. There's still a remnant of brightness that's there in the sound. Ooh, 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 versus ooh. Come on, Ledisi. And you can even hear the brightness on that top tone. On that top tone. Let's hear it again. Yes. 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 Come on, Ledisi. Sell it. Yeah, and actually right there, that's actually probably the best place to even catch that she's actually connected to all of her range. Because you're all I need, right? You can hear that she's doing that flippy thing again, where she's going from chest voice to head voice, but you can hear on because you're all I need, that line she pretty much eliminates, and she smoothly goes from one side of her chest voice to their head voice, but it's not like she's going from chest to a head. She's going from slightly more chest to slightly more head. Listen very carefully. Right here. But need, right? So sensitive of a placement, but it's masterful. It's masterful. She is a master. I love Ledisi. Come on, Ledisi. Yeah. Oh, yes, exactly. And you can hear how she purposely puts more brightness on the tone. Yes, come on, Ledisi. And something that's important to note with her scats is that, and about scatting in general, is that you need a flexibility in your embouchure and in your tongue in order to be able to do that. And a lot of us carry tension in our jaw and our tongue that keep us from being able to get out yeah, or whatever she did. But because she's firmly planted and supported in the lower parts of her body, it frees up her embouchure to be able to move around freely because there's no tension, and so you're getting these complex and differently colored tones on these scats, and so you get the Ledisi effect. What? What? And it's and you hear it all the time when she sings, because Ledisi is such a spontaneous singer. She's very planned and very much rehearsed, but it's like the spirit just takes over, and she's like, I feel like doing this today. And you can even hear her make the choice. She starts with the and then she's like, oh no, I want more. And and because she's so effortless with it, she goes for the A flat 5, which is not an easy note to sing, and she just chooses it. And then she gives a nice run that finishes off the idea in such a very sensitive spot. Like, it's like a very musically sensitive spot. Wait, can I even do it? Yes. Yeah. 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 God, like even there, it's just
Only you and I. Black girls, let's go. Come on.
hey. Yes, yes. Yes. Yeah, and for me it's the well intonated straight tone singing. Like it's so calculated. If she didn't have a microphone and you could just hear that in a room, you would hear it bounce around the room and resonate. Like that tone is well calculated, it's bright, it's not forced, it's just well placed. It's the tone for me. It's the pitch for me. Like the perfect pitch for me. Like she's great. Yes. 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 Wait. Yes. Yes. Yes, and we need to rewind that because we need to see actually a little bit of what's going on here. Because you can even see how vertical. Oh, right? You're not going to get a tone like that just keeping your mouth closed. That A flat was so in tune. Like I feel like I'm like, this girl has probably, this woman, like she's not a little girl, but she has probably sung like scales up and down her voice for so long. She's been singing for so long to be able to accurately pinpoint pitch so amazingly with such a balanced tone that is effortless. Like that is a seasoned sound, man. Right? And another example of her mixing. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Listen. Yeah, and so she transitions right back into that mixed belt out of her head voice. Again, the tone is connected. It's not like she's using a head voice that is disconnected from the rest of her voice. And the reason why that's important is because a mastery of your head voice is what gives you the leverage to be able to take your chest voice up far enough that it can be lifted by your head voice and be used in coordination with it to create what's called the mixed voice. Or it's not called the mixed voice, it's a mixing of the registers and a mixing of the mechanisms that are involved. When you have such a good handle on your head voice, you're able to take it down, lift your chest voice, and also you're able to take your chest voice and bring your head voice down. It's like they're hand in hand. And when they have a tight, firm grip, that's when you get that balanced tone. And that's what you're hearing on Ledisi. It's not just that she's carrying up her chest voice, because her chest voice can't go all the way up there without help. And her head voice can't be that bright and that balanced without help from her chest voice. She is doing the most. And I love it. Come on, Ledisi. But I blame you. Again, it's just you can hear she's got these little short staccato like da da da, but the pitch is not suffering in the slightest. Yeah, and I love the choice of vowel. It wasn't I blame you, it was I blame yo. And the reason why she chooses that vowel is because it creates that space at the back of her throat. I blame yo instead of you. Let's see if I can do it up the octave. Yes. Right, and that ah vowel at the back of her throat is guiding all of her belts. Best believe she's got a consistent placement at the back. That soft palate is high, it's lifted. Come on. Lift your soft palate. Come on, lift your hands and lift your soft palate in the anyway, I can't. Oh my gosh. B flat 5, guys. And it's just as balanced as the A flat 5 was. This woman is a monster. A monster. Come on. Like, jeez. And she's not. can even see as she's continuing to dance, and honestly, she's supported. Like, what she's doing is she's just bracing that support as she's moving. She is just a study in how to keep not just a balanced tone, but to keep a consistent support throughout all movements, shapes. You know, she's sitting, you know, giving all of these movements, etc., so forth. But she's keeping that what is it? That support just so consistent, and I'm like, come on. Right? And brings it back to her voice. Yes! Oh my gosh. And the animation, I can't. Come on. Oh my gosh, I just can't. And the reason why I need, like, you guys to know about Ledisi is because Ledisi has been singing for so long. She just won her first Grammy for Anything for You. I'm so happy that she's finally a Grammy Award winning artist, because she's been out here consistent. She's been putting out great albums, great music that I enjoy, and I'm just like, people need to know about great voices like this that are giving great technique and good, well-written music. And she's such a great example of that, and I wish that more people knew about her. So I'm like, you guys, get to know Ledisi. And if you want to see more videos like this, I encourage you to subscribe to this channel if you're new, because this is the place where we teach singers how to listen. If you want to be on the live experience, join Patreon for $5 a month at patreon.com/O'NeillGerald, and I'll see you in another video. Bye, everyone.